Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Laws versus Bailey.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Laws, you have dragged your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Bailey, into court to prove to him that he is the father of your 19-month-old son, Josiah. You believe he is denying paternity because of his mother's doubts. You also claim that there is a chance that Mr. Bailey is the father of your 4-year-old son, Jamari, who has another man's name on his birth certificate. Mr. Bailey, you say that you did not father either of Ms. Law's 2 sons and believe that their biological father is Ms. Law's boyfriend, who passed away 2 years ago. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Laws, how do we get here today? Tell me about your relationship.
Okay, so me and Mr. Bailey actually met in middle school, and we kind of been like on and off. My mother stays in Arizona, so I left middle school and went to Arizona, and that's when me and Mr. Bailey broke up. And before coming back, I actually met Mr. Davis, and we was in a relationship for about 2 years. So when I came back, Mr. Bailey used to come up to my high school. You know, he never gave up on trying to get back with me because, you know, we left off in middle school. And me and Mr. Davis was actually intimate for 1.5 years. I never got pregnant. So that night, the first night that I actually cheated and slept with Mr. Bailey, 2 months later, I find out I'm pregnant.
So when you said, I'm pregnant, did you say immediately, I'm confused as to which man is the father, or did you tell one man he was the father?
Actually, I told the both of them when I found out.
You did?
Yes, I did.
So you told both men?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
Who was at the birth with you?
Mr. Davis.
Mr. Davis was at the birth
Yes,
of
Your
your
Honor.
first child.
Mm-hmm.
Who is on the birth certificate for the first child?
Mr. Davis.
So Mr. Davis was on the birth certificate. So even though you say you were confused about the paternity, you led Mr. Davis to believe that he was the father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I slept with Mr. Bailey, I was still in a relationship with Mr. Davis.
Okay.
It was a one-night thing. How is that even possible, though?
We gonna find out today if it's
We have a
possible.
lot of people here on this earth, Mr. Bailey. Let me give you a news flash. They are products of one-night stands. It only takes once. Did you use protection on that one night?
No.
That's a recipe for making a baby. So how old was Jamari when Mr. Davis passed away?
He was 2 years old.
He was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Up until that time, Mr. Davis thought he was Jamari's biological father.
Yes.
Did his family accept the child?
Yes.
But you knew all the while, deep inside, that you had cheated on Mr. Davis with Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
And so Mr. Davis passes away. At that point, do you tell someone about this secret?
The only people who really knew was Mr. Bailey's, some of his family members.
No.
So, Mr. Bailey, you and your mom are here in court today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you remember hearing that she was pregnant with Jamari, an older child?
No, I knew she was pregnant with Jamari. She was big, like her stomach was already big and everything, and I was already like just seeing her and stuff, so that was already his baby. I just don't understand.
Oh, so you knew when she was pregnant. You saw her when she was pregnant with Jamari. You didn't think this was your child?
No.
Did she ever tell you this could be your child?
No.
So who did she tell you Jamari's father was?
Corey.
Okay, can I say something?
Mr. Davis.
Davis.
Can I say something? Okay, so let me tell you, when I first found out I was pregnant, I didn't have the guts to even tell Corey that I cheated because I was like, you know, I was in love with that man. So when I told Mr. Bailey, I told him second after I told Mr. Davis. And what Mr. Bailey said was, that's my baby.
Did you say that, Mr. Bailey? Did you say, that's my baby?
No, how am I gonna
Excuse
say
me.
that's
Him
my...
and his cousin was saying that.
Excuse me, can I say something?
How am I
Can I
gonna
say
say that's
something?
my
Wait, wait,
baby?
wait.
Because you know
I
you
don't
slept
know.
with me. Because you
Wait,
know
yeah,
you
I
slept
slept
with
with
me.
you, but that's not my baby.
Can I say something?
Hold on, Miss Laws, you told me yourself when I asked you, is that Mr. Bailey's son? You said, no, it's not.
I don't know. That's why I'm here. I don't know. I'm confused because I slept with the both of them, obviously.
Right, but when I asked you, you told me no.
I do not remember
She's
that. He
confused.
know what's
She
good.
don't
He
know.
really
Okay.
know what's good. He
Well,
know what's
Ms.
good.
Laws, you did testify to the fact that you were fearful. And could it be possible that you did tell Ms. Nelson this is not your grandchild? Because you didn't want to open up that Pandora's box?
I really don't even remember that.
Did you ever tell Mr. Davis's family that it was a possibility that he was not Jamari's biological father?
Nobody know that, nobody. I never had the guts enough to even, you know what I mean? That's why I'm here today, honestly. Because I kept that secret for so long. I was young, I didn't know how to say it. It would hurt, you know what I mean? He dead now. So he's saying he don't know if he could be the dad. What he told me Friday was, if both of these kids come out mine, I'm going to marry you. You know what I mean? So why even sit here and lie like you don't even know it's a possibility? That junk getting on my nerves.
Well, listen, I know you are upset, and I know this is hard, and I know this has been a lot of stress. You're a young woman, and you've been keeping secrets, and this is what secrets do to us. They tear us apart. They eat away at us. And this is an opportunity for you to not just tell your side, but also for Mr. Bailey and Ms. Nelson to tell what they understand. It's also time to tell the truth.
And he needs to be
And
honest.
I'm gonna give you that opportunity because Mr. Davis's sister is here in court. And I'd like to have her be escorted in. Jerome? Ms. Collier, thank you so much for being here today. And please accept my sincerest condolences on the loss of your brother. I know that is very difficult. I have a few questions. Let's take a deep breath. Do you believe that your brother is Jamari's biological father?
Yes.
You do believe that?
Yes.
Can you tell the court why?
Well, first when my brother he was so happy, and then he told my mom that he had the baby on the way, and my family always thought Jamari was ours, regardless. Nicole never told us about Mr. Bailey, and I don't know. Oh, God.
So what you're saying is that you have never received information to the contrary that your brother was this child's biological father. You grew up, this is your nephew.
Yeah.
This is what your family feels, this is their
Yeah.
grandchild, this is their nephew.
Yeah.
Did your brother ever express any doubts to you?
No. He was so happy that he had this first child on the way.
When did you find out there was a possibility that Jamari may not be your brother's biological child?
I never had that feeling because I was like happy with my brother, so I always thought that was my brother's son.
So you didn't receive any information about that until you were asked to come to court? Really? Did your brother have any other children?
Well, hopefully it'd be Josiah, because when my brother passed away, he said he had another baby on the way.
Oh.
So that would be Ms. Law's younger son, Josiah.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
And for Josiah and Jamari to look alike, they have this, yeah, you could tell they had the same dad.
And you believe they look like your brother? He passed away believing he was both of the children's biological father. We know that on his headstone, you even have listed, in addition to being a loving son, grandson, you also put father. So until having to come to court, this is what your family believed.
Yeah,
No other thing.
no other thing.
That's my first time ever hearing that. He thought he had another baby on the way.
Ms. Collier just testified that the reason why they believe that Josiah, the younger baby, was also their nephew, their grandson, is because Mr. Davis told them
That's
that.
my first time ever hearing that Mr. Davis thought that. I mean, Yana never told me that he thought that. He never said that he thought that. When he used to come pick up Jamari when he was sick and he seen me pregnant, he like, you know, this hurt my feelings. That's supposed to be my baby, or you only supposed to have one baby by me. Being that he's passing, he never could accept the fact that I moved on. You know what I mean? So to see me pregnant, he was hurt, but he never said, that's my baby. I feel like that's my baby. And he couldn't have said it because he know, and I know that we never slept around.
So what was the nature of your relationship with Mr. Bailey when you got pregnant with Josiah?
We was dating. He was staying at my house. Like, the only time he'll leave is if we arguing and I put him out and he come right back. You know what I mean?
She real sneaky. Every time I leave, ain't no telling what's up. Like, you confused about the first one, what's up with the second one? It make me wonder, like.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
I was
because
very-
because she's honest about the paternity question regarding Jamari, you feel like there potentially could be a paternity question relating to Josiah?
Oh, because like I was saying, she would still like see him. Like she said, he would still come to her house. She would go see him. Anything's possible.
Jamari was his baby. He done more for Jamari. Like that he would want to be around Jamari than you ever wanted to be around Josiah.
I gotta
Even though
know
me and
kids
you
is
not
mine.
together.
Like, before I
Even
just
though
do
me and you
anything
not
for
together.
any kid, I gotta
even
know that
though-
they're mine.
Boy, you know that boy is yours. Until you
I
said your
don't know
mom.
that.
Until you said your mom was
I
like,
don't know that.
he
Just
don't
like-
look like your daughter.
just-
Then that's not your baby.
Listen, just-
so what?
just
People
like
have
she
different
said,
genes.
Corey
Oh well.
told-
Okay,
You
hold
got-
on,
you
hold
got
on,
baby
hold
on
on.
the way.
Let's get some order. Let's get some
Definitely.
order. What evidence do you have to prove that she potentially was sneaking around?
Her phone always locked up, and if she ended up giving me the password, she ended up switching it like right away.
Do you have any other proof that she was out sleeping with somebody else?
If she's sneaky, I already got my doubts about her being sneaky, then I'm
Just because you was
just
cheating,
don't trust
I had
her.
to be
It's my-
cheating.
So you
I
don't
stayed
trust
at home
her?
24/7.
Not at
You
all.
know I was a
don't.
homebody. You
I don't.
always got to be out
I
doing
don't.
something. So we don't know for sure if Jamari is yours or Corey's because I made that one mistake with you. So we got that out the way. But what we don't got out the way is Josiah being your son. And he's definitely your son. And like I said,
gon-
you're going to see today. You're
Yeah,
going to
we'll
see
see.
today.
So Ms. Laws, just to be clear, you told him unequivocally that Josiah is his biological child.
Yes, Your Honor.
The question was about Jamari.
Yes, Your Honor.
But Mr. Bailey, you believe, well, if it's a question about Jamari, then in my mind, there's a question about Josiah.
Yeah.
And that doubt is probably fueled by the fact that Ms. Collier has testified to the fact that her brother said before his passing that I have another baby on the way.
I'm confused too. Seriously, because I don't
So,
know why
Miss
he would say
Collier.
that. He wouldn't tell me that.
I mean,
Ms.
he-
Collier,
But he-
after
he
he,
had-
hold
had to
on.
be having sex or something.
Quiet.
I see right now. I have nothing to
Let's
say
get
for it.
some
That's
order.
not
Let's
me.
get some order. Just
Need to be
calm
quiet.
down, Ms. Laws.
Take a
Just
deep
get
breath.
me, man. I'm ready to walk out,
Take
and
a
you can
deep
read
breath.
the results to him, because I already know the freaking results.
Listen, you walk out of here, you walking out on your children's opportunity to know who
He gonna hear it. They
their
need to
father.
hear it. I don't need to hear it.
Listen. You do need to hear it because you've already testified that you had a question and a secret that you held on to by yourself for all of these years, so much so that the man you say you love so much, his sister's sitting here and she had no idea Mr. Bailey could potentially
I
be
was
her
15
nephew's
years
by.
old.
So, but we heard that. We heard that already.
What you want me to do?
But
Just like,
listen. What I want you to do is just be quiet for a minute, because the truth is, you're too young to have all these babies anyway, and that's why you're in here popping off, and you're crying, and you're breaking down because you feel attacked.
I don't feel attacked.
You know
It's
you
the fact
feel
that he's
attacked by.
lying.
That's my point. You
He's
feel
lying.
attacked because you feel like he's not telling the truth about you. But what I'm saying is the only way you get down to understanding why people believe what they believe about you is hearing what they have to say.
Some stuff.
Walking out and running and yelling, that doesn't serve you and that doesn't serve your children. I think we are ready for the results. Jerome? We have two sets of results here today. The first is for Josiah. Because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased, Mr. Corey Davis, we performed a DNA test with his surviving parent, Shantae Barnwell, and the child, Josiah Laws. We also performed a DNA test between Mr. Jalik Bailey and the child, Josiah Laws. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Laws versus Bailey, pertaining to whether Mr. Bailey or Mr. Davis is the father of 19-month-old Josiah Laws, it has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Bailey. So, after all of the doubt, we now know Josiah is your son.
Okay,
How do you feel?
cool. I feel a lot better now.
Ain't nothing going
That
change.
you know?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I know now. Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get the next result. In the case of Laws versus Bailey, pertaining to whether Mr. Bailey or Mr. Davis is the father of 4-year-old Jamari Laws, it has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Bailey.
Oh.
I'm very sorry, Miss Collier.
He's still gonna be my nephew because I had that bond with Jamari.
Mr. Bailey, how do you feel to know that Jamari is also your biological child?
It just blew me away, honestly. I'm gone, like, oh my God.
You're like in shock.
Yes.
You have an opportunity now to change the course of these two beautiful boys' lives by letting them know their father, have love from their father, support from their father, and have the presence of their father in their life. You can change the course of their life. I want you to start working on, in your mind,
That's not a question.
how you can be a present. So you're gonna step up and you're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
I love that. And look, that's why we have counseling and resources for you all here in this courtroom, because we want you to take advantage of it and figure out how to make the first steps. All right, I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned.